For those individuals who are not living on purpose, what are your recommendations? What can you suggest?
What has benefited me throughout the years is a willingness to get involved. A willingness to get involved even when a payback isn't immediately evident, right? Because in doing so, getting involved, being a part of different activities, contributing your skills, contributing talent, contributing your thought and ideas throughout that process, that's when you start to even learn about yourself, because individuals then point out to you, "Hey, you're pretty good at this, you're pretty good at that. Why don't you?" And then a suggestion comes. Why don't you try this? Why don't you try that? But if you isolate yourself, right? And you refuse to get involved too unless there's some sort of reward or benefit that is upfront. You, especially as a young person, this is especially for young people, get involved, volunteer, community service. And you should to ignore that and just pursue cash all the time. You rob yourselves of a knowledge of who you are, of discovering latent potential and skills and talents that are there.
So through the act of doing and
Act,
just
do it.
living through the
Exactly.
experiences, there are many benefits to learn, many lessons that you can carry on. That's mainly what you're saying there, right? Yeah, I think, through this journey we call life, it don't always seem as if we are achieving certain objectives, but the lessons learned can certainly carry us and build us up and strengthen us to take on bigger things, right? Would you agree?
Certainly, and that's another concern I often hear. I see young people struggle with this. They put a lot of expectation, especially on having material items, and I believe they should have this at a particular time, and believe they should have that at a particular time, and they ignore at times even the growth that they've experienced. I give you an example. A colleague of mine, I was having a conversation with this guy, and he was just looking down, or thinking that he should have gotten much further than he is right now. And when you look at his CV, right? When you look at his CV, he has done work with major companies, amazingly talented guy, amazingly talented individual, but he doesn't feel as if he's doing anything. And I said, listen, you're not celebrating the wins enough. You're not celebrating those wins enough. Those sort of contracts, it's not everybody get them. A sort of exposure, it's not everybody get them. That's testament of your talent. That's testament of the quality of the work that you produce. So celebrate that. All of the other things, those will come. Those will come. Just continue doing quality work and continue to develop the talent.
Yes, you build from strength to strength, right?
Definitely.
And that's
building blocks, stepping stones.
Precisely.
Lay a foundation first. So in your younger years, in your 20s, you're doing all that work as a foundation.
Absolutely.
Foundation you lay.
Absolutely. So you talk about your colleagues, and let's take it to your circle of friends. Those individuals that you talk to daily or weekly or whatever. So is a discussion about purpose a common in your circle?
It has come up more so. Yes, especially among the younger individuals who are now around me. because in addition to operating my own consultancy, I'm also a part of a community education program based at one of the universities, and we often have community service students, the undergraduates come around. So I have these conversations around purpose with them. But even my group of friends, when we were at university, these were conversations that I had, even with my family. These are conversations that I have, my sister. These are conversations that we have. And I will tell you, I have seen where just a slow and steady, celebrating the wins, has done so much for them. I can give you a particular story of a very close friend and brother of mine who, at one point, he was told when he went to the guidance counselor to seek some sort of advice and support, he was told to drop out of this program essentially. This program, he's a chemical engineer. Drop out of this program, but potentially you're not cut out for this. But I know he has always said to me, listen, Rowen, I want to be a chemist. I want to be a chemical engineer. He has always expressed that to me.
Mm-hmm.
Always expressed that to me. And even it took him a longer time to graduate. He faced a lot of subjects. It was a very, very challenging time, very, very challenging experience for him in university. But right now, he operates his own lab, and is in the process of launching his own chemical engineering firm.
We are getting close to finishing our interview. Would you be so kind as to just say a parting word, something that you like our listeners to take away from our conversation today about purpose?
I am a poet. Still am a poet. So I will share a few words from a poem that I wrote many years ago that encourages me and have encouraged a few of my friends, and it is aspire. Aspire, believe, contrive to be great. Be not daunted by the threat of defeat, for success seeks searchers, unsure of their fate, yet still steps forward in hopes they will meet.
That's awesome. Where can our listeners get your book on purpose?
It's on Amazon. So find your true purpose. Words of wisdom from a college dropout turned author and entrepreneur. Rowen A. Johnson. I think once you type in Rowen A. Johnson, the book will come up on Amazon.
The book will pop up. Okay, great.